So tomorrow, 2 o'clock, am I correct? Young Bell? Matt Van Epps?
2 o'clock. 2:06, actually.
2:06 to be. So 24 hours from the day. I bet he's excited. Worked hard to get this. Bell worked his ass off to get this. Lots of emails back and forth. Lots of chasing down numbers just to get a number, to get an email after that, to email people, to get more emails, to get the opportunity to come on in and chat. We're going to have a half an hour with him. You know, so we'll have your questions. And again, you know, I want to have a conversation. Why you? You know, why you? And it can't just be, and my thing is, what are you doing for Tennessee? It can't just be, I support Trump. Okay, great. There's not a shocker. But why you? You know, I saw him the other day.
He endorsed you and you support him?
I know.
There's a shocker.
Yeah, shocker. But like, you know, why I saw him talking about affordable housing. I want to find out, what's the affordable housing? What does that look like?
It's when you build a house out of affordium.
It's my own stuff. It's actually styrofoam. It's pretty awesome. You know, I mean, it's how do we do that? How do we solve a problem of the supply and demand? And these are serious, you know, that's real stuff for Tennessee. What are you going to do? But it's a nationwide issue, and you're going to go to D.C. if you win. It's going to be one of the big questions, affordability. You know, the ACA. You know, the Affordable Care Act. Obamacare, whatever you want to call it. The Democrats are like, well, now it's your problem. No, it's all of your problems. Don't bring me a problem. Bring me a solution, as my old boss used to say in England. Well, what's the solution? Find out. That's the solution right now is, oh, you guys will find out soon. And then we're hoping to get Afton on as well, because let's talk about it. Again, I want to find out, what is your solutions at the local level and the national level, because you know, when you send somebody to D.C., people forget that, well, they're there to work for us and the people of Tennessee, and then bring back, you know, hopefully things that they can go and secure opportunities here to grow and funds for the state. But it's also the votes that you're voting on, they affect the nation. So this will be good. It'll be fun tomorrow. We'll have your questions ready. Your questions. Indeed. The Epstein stuff, it's still there. It's not going anywhere. At least not now. I don't know what new stuff they have, according to Pam Bondi. It's super secret. We found new stuff. Remember, this is the lady that gave out the white binders. That's why when people say, when I say I don't trust that we're going to get everything and that there's not stuff that's disappearing, because they handed out white binders, embarrassed a bunch of people, many of which had no idea this was going to happen, made them look like fools, made Bondi and them look like fools, and then came out and said, no, the dude killed himself and he never did anything else. So
here's your white binder full of stuff you already knew.
Yeah. Here's all the stuff you could get on the internet, but I put it in a binder for you. Don't worry, it's a 3-ring.
Had an official seal on it, too. I'd save that. It might be a collector's item one day.
Yeah, that's right. It's a 3-ring, so be prepared. The official seal is good, but that's one of those things, like, take that off my page. I don't want people to see that I was a part of that. Because some of these people felt like they were just handed stuff. They had no idea this was going on. And then she's out there, wait till phase 2. Can we put that with the Kraken? Is it near the Kraken? Sidney Powell. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. No, Kylie does not approve of Matt Van Epps. I would say hard no on that. That's our White Woman Wednesday. We got some good White Woman Wednesday coming up. Some of you, we were talking about Civil War, and was it Sally said this: as long as I'm sitting on my rocking chair on my front porch drinking a beer, and by that time I'm smoking a big fat joint, that's the only way I'm going to participate in the Civil War. It has to come to me. You want to fight? Yeah. Can you make it? I could be there at 9. Ugh, a little late for me.
Well, and Congressman Burchett, in making his point about that, he said you need to vote.
Yeah.
You got to vote.
That's it. You know, it was Obama, you know? Elections have consequences. You've got to vote. You got to get out and do it. It's so important. And I'll tell you guys this, local stuff, like the tax issue here. it is. Do you realize how we talked a bit about it yesterday with Matt, but the insanity of which they're asking all of these mom and pop shops arbitrarily handed a tax bill, and that includes houses in some area where you're like, they can't afford to stay there. And no, the uniqueness of what we, have here is people coming from all over the world to hang out, see country music stuff, not to go to Chili's. No offense to Chili's, because you know me, I love a good Chili's. But you want to be able to go all the cool things. You want to be able to see these things. And handing somebody a $200,000 tax bill on their sandwich shop that's been there for 50 years and going, you're lucky it's only that much. No, that's it. I mean,
we have programs.
Huh?
We have programs.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe you said that.
Yeah, we have programs. Hey, yeah, if you need some help, we got some programs. Is the program an eraser? Oh, it's not? Okay.
Why do you need the program if the taxes aren't too high?
Yeah. Well, exactly. And, the story we did a couple weeks ago, this poor lady got I think it was $500,000 tax or some ridiculous thing on her house. And her son, she's elderly. Her son calls and says, this is ridiculous. And they're like, all right, 200,000? They knocked off like 200,000 or 300,000 just on a phone call. So it shows you how insane this is.
And how it's not based on anything real.
No. And this is something I've always wondered, and this is when California went to Prop 13 back in the day, which was whatever you buy your house at, that's what your tax rate is. So if your house is worth $2 million, but you bought it for $200,000, you're still only paying tax on $200,000. So, but the reason that they went in that direction, Prop 13, took off, is because people were getting tax bills that were so arbitrary, and it was like the cities and stuff would go around and go, man, this place is struggling over here. You know what we need to do? Let's go tax this neighborhood to the hilt. And they would arbitrarily do stuff, and there was no control because it's not an independent third party that's doing it, which is, frustrating. And there's government right there. But here's the thing. We want services from government. Like, I don't know if you guys are watching what's going on in Florida, but they're trying to, their homestead, they're trying to do the same thing that Texas did, which is how can we just get rid of property tax for a certain group of people that are in their 60s? You mean the people that own homes, that have wealth? And they always go, come on. It's mostly people on fixed incomes. Settle down. It's Florida.
Go ahead.
You're living in a $700,000 home.
This thing's going to hit renters really hard.
Really bad.
Because landlords have to pay property tax too. And they're not. It's not like they're not going to pass it on.
Yeah, and the thing is too, we here, if you are renting the building, you don't own it, you're still paying that tax. A lot of that's just transferred on to them. How frustrating is it? And the renters, like you said, man, you talk about how this is going to affect them, because you were just, what was the story you did earlier about that? The website.
Yeah, Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skermetti has entered into the settlement agreement with a renting company out there that apparently used some software and got with other companies, and they artificially raised people's rent based on this algorithm.
Yeah. It is so rigged. It's crazy. Just like we've talked about the housing prices. Somebody walks in and from the Blackstone, one of those big companies, they roll in there and they go, oh, check it out. Look at all these houses. You know what? Don't even finish the houses. You want $10 million? We'll give you a $9 million cash right now for it. And you say, sure. Then they finish the homes, and they have somebody come in and buy a home for $700,000 when those homes should be $400,000. All of a sudden they set that. Now that's what the house is worth. These houses around it.
Yeah, this was Greystar Management Services.
Yeah.
It's the nation's largest property management company. And they used RealPage, which is a revenue management software that enabled property managers to share sensitive pricing and supply data that reduced competition and then drove up rent.
So they're basically colluding.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Yes.
They're colluding. And it's
for no good reason.
No good reason. They're colluding. Let's get together and let's make sure that all of our prices are going up at the same rate. We don't want somebody to have a 2-bedroom place for $1,400. It's affordable. Let's make it $2,500, but that's for a 1-bedroom.
Right.
We're all on the same page?
Exactly.
And they say, well, it's the website. It's the webs, the algorithms. You guys are all talking to each other. Shut up. Shut up. Don't need that crap. Somebody said, Sally said, Davison County tax assessor overvalued my house by $36,000. I sent an appraisal in the very next week saying my house is overvalued by $36,000. My appeal was denied. Freddie is an a-hole. The whole thing with, we want services, right? Like, we all want services. We want to make sure the roads, we could have done pot for potholes, but whatever. But we want to make sure the roads are good. We want to make sure that we have fire department. We want to make sure we have good schools. We want all of those things. At the same time, nobody ever wants to pay taxes. But at some point in time, you have to ask yourself, what's the difference of being a partner with the city as opposed to, hey, you're now an ATM machine?
Well, and there's something kind of extra heinous about property taxes, though, because you end up you pay rent on what you own after you've paid it off.
Yeah, which is also a business. It's like you buy a car. You still have to register it even if you own it and pay taxes on like license and all this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I own it. Like, you don't go out today and buy a hamburger and then go back tomorrow and go, I got to pay my tax on my hamburger I bought yesterday. It's just such a weird thing. But look, there's a certain amount of taxes. I think everybody's willing to go, okay, yeah. It's the overtaxation and the randomness of this area has gone up by 57% and this area over here went up by 5%. How did that happen? I don't know. It's kind of like the with the medical billing. You get a thing and it's like, I owe $53,000 for my appendix. You call them up and go, I'm not paying that. Like, well, can you pay? $1. Okay.
All right.
Oh, what happened to the $49,000 in between? It just seems very random. If you're honest and up forward and you talk to people about this and you say, that there's not people want transparency. People are willing to stick with you in this situation, but you got to have transparency. And if you're going to look at everybody and go, you want nice roads, you want buses, nobody's screaming for buses, for God's sakes.
Not here.
You could take that money that you're going to spend on your choo-choo train and buses and buy everybody a car, and they would be thrilled. They would be thrilled. The Democrats love to force people onto mass transit, and in some cities it works.
Yeah, like in cities like Chicago, you got to have it.
Yeah, New York.
Absolutely. Major cities.
My buddy Jimmy lives in New York, and he goes, I haven't driven a car in years. I don't need it. I don't need it. I walk, and then I hop on a subway, and away I go, and I get right off, and I'm there.
And if you need an Uber or a cab, those are available too.
Yeah, exactly. They're all available, and because why? Because everything is concentrated in an area. They've built up and they built underneath. We aren't that way. Many states, especially in the South and in the West Coast and through the Midwest, it's the East Coast that's able to do that. We spread out, and because we spread out, well, you need a car. Go put directions in from like Franklin to Bridgestone, right? Just pick some place in Franklin. See how long it would take you to get there in a bus.
And how many stops you would have to make.
408 stops, right? You're probably going to get robbed. Yeah. May get married. You don't know. Oh, lordy. White Girl Wednesday. Excuse me, wrong. White Woman Wednesday. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. We've got some White Woman Wednesday coming up. Our one-hit wonders as well. Reach out to us across all of our social media. We do love hearing from each and every one of you. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Oh, are they? What's that going to cost America? America. We got some of your text messages. We are going to do some of those coming up in a little bit. We had a one-hit wonder Wednesday, but it is Wednesday. And because of that, we have white women. Her name is Kylie. She went where?
She had a scholarship to white, but she went to Brown instead.
Brown! He says, guess what? The internet hates women.
Hi, I'm Kylie, and I think I just figured out why so many young boys are being radicalized. Just conducted a social experiment where I literally signed out on my YouTube profile so there was zero trace of any of my previous history, went in a private browser, and searched YouTube. I typed in feminism, and the first 4 videos that came up were anti-feminist, including a famous Red Pill podcast. It was the first or second search item that popped up. Even if young men go in innocently trying to learn about feminism, they are immediately exposed to anti-feminist, misogynistic content. I also looked up debate with women, and instead of something coming up related to politics, like with AOC or Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris even, Red Pill content came up immediately, like man dominates woman, Candace Owens versus 20 feminists. Immediate anti-feminist content that is designed to demean, dehumanize, and humiliate women. I am so concerned at this point as a teacher because of the amount of people I've had come in say in my classroom like your body, my choice, and a lot of other boys being incredibly misogynistic to their classmates and belittling women. At this point, I think we need to pass legislation about mandatory algorithmic changes because these boys are being taught to hate women without even meaning to.
More government. More government.
Did she say she's a teacher?
Yeah. She's a substitute, though, because every time I see her, it's like, well, I haven't worked this week. Yeah, she's a teacher. People come in all the time. Last week, everybody was in my classroom. Just my classroom was all deported. It was like it's whatever the worst is.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she is like, she's at the center of everything misogynistic, racist.
Because you look for it. I read when I was out in Arizona at my station out there, they have interns. And they, Bonneville, they're an amazing company and they do it right. The interns get paid. But we wouldn't have any on our show. And the reason was because they're a pain in the ass. Some of these younger generations, they were a huge pain in the ass. The ones that we had to vet them in a way where they had to work there for a little while and we had to get to know them. I held the door open one day for they, them. And she went off on me.
Wow.
Because like, what, do you think I couldn't do it myself? I'm like, well, I held it open for the 3 other people before you. That's what I was taught. It's that kind of, if you're looking to be angry, it's there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It is. Just go on the internet. And by the way, she's like, the internet's mean. Have you been on the internet? The internet is nothing but hate. Like it's rage bait.
She should come see our YouTube chat.
Oh, yeah, totally. Everybody's all, she's a teacher? Oh, God, she's a teacher. Settle down. She's a substitute teacher. Yeah. Right. They're not even sure. They are like, well, maybe we'll have you, but like just once in a great while. Once in a great, she's the Forrest Gump of feminism. Then I met them, and there was this, and this happened to me here. I can't believe it. That's what happened. So, yeah, everything bad that could ever happen to somebody happens to her.
Yes, it does.
Right? If she meets a person of color, a BIPOC, they happen to be the only racist black person in America.
The only one.
And they only hate other black people.
Right. Nobody else.
Nobody else. Because why? Because they have light skin. And for those of you guys who don't know, Africa, I'm talking about some racism. Albinos, they will come for you for all kinds of things. First of all, you could be a witch or you're cursed. The darker your skin, the worse. I mean, it's and same thing with, it's funny, they always talk about Latinos. There's so many of them, right? They don't like each other. Like, you're from Honduras, their nationalistic pride comes in. Everybody's got some bias, but it's so overblown. It's so, except for the albinos. I do really feel sorry. Like, you go and read some of the stories.
Man.
Like, there was one albino.
Imagine.
We chased him, and now our village isn't cursed.
Terrible.
I don't think it was that guy who cursed your village. Oh, my Lord. Coming up, One Hit Wonder Wednesday. I'm excited for that. Little one-hit wonder. Also, are you getting a $2,000 check? Right before the election, you might, but you're not. But you might, but you probably won't.
We'll see.
It's going to be great. I'm going to put my face on it that says, get out and vote. It's the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he's got a magic jacket on today. Magic Matt's in the house. I like your jacket, dude.
Thank you. This is a Birdwell. You know Birdwell out in California? Great backstory for this company.
Are they?
I bought this jacket several years ago before I could fit into it, and it was one of those motivational jackets. Right now I can fit into it, but this is it's made out of parachute material.
Nice.
So the company started because this woman's kids were wanting to surf, and they lived out in California, and none of the shorts that they bought were good enough for her, so she used parachute material to make surfing shorts. And now they still sell
pretty
surfing
awesome.
shorts and jackets.
I like it. Very cool.
Made in the USA.
Made in the USA.
Well, California, which is kind of
yeah. It's still the USA.
Yeah, sure.
You guys forget there are more Republicans in California than anywhere else in the country. It's just the fact that there's more
There's
everything
a lot of people.
else.
And all of them want to split. Well, all the ones in the north, don't they want to split it?
Yeah, they want to split. Since I was a
never
kid,
gonna split it,
they've talked about breaking California up, because the North is more conservative.
Right.
Even the outside of Berkeley, even the Democrats are old school Democrats, Sacramento stuff. It's we were just talking about Afton and the fact that the Kamala was here, and she's like, it's more than just about people's who buy my book, vote Tuesday. We can win. I beat Medicare.
I should, I briefly considered going to the Ryman thing, and then I looked up ticket prices this about a month and a half ago. My goodness gracious. Some liberals still have money. I mean, the tickets in the lower section of the Ryman were going for like $800 a piece. $800 a piece. But you get a book.
I was going to say, do you get the free book?
You get a book, so that's nice. But these were the ones that were still available. They're pretty good seats. I imagine you could get tickets for $200 a piece or whatever, but they were not cheap, and they were full. The interesting thing is, apparently Afton showed up before Kamala showed up, said hello, and then left. Kamala never mentions her name.
You know what? I think that's better for Afton.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe in the grand scheme of things, but
I mean, you don't want that on you, that whole, just the debacle that was her election campaign, who she is. Just get away. She's not, to me, I would have said, no, you don't have to come out. You want to sell books, that's fine. But I mean,
she was already slated to be at the Ryman.
Yeah.
And these events, I don't know that, a lot of the national news media, they're saying, oh, she was campaigning for or campaigning even with Afton Bain. I never saw them together.
I never did either.
And I never saw Kamala Harris mention her name.
No.
So, I don't know. She was saying go out to vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go out to vote
Go
now.
out to vote for
the person.
With
the thing. Just do it. Who wants a book?
That's exactly right, Weaver. Don't let people take your power.
I will never do that. Ladies and gentlemen, he's straight ahead. Matt, you guys have a good one. We'll do it again tomorrow. Okay.